All right, it's a beautiful morning here at Rotary Park in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Slightly chilly, about 60 degrees. I'm sure the rest of the country is probably going, what, 60? Anyway, we're looking at a very nice 1955 Ford Crown Victoria. It's absolutely loaded, a very nice car. I love doing cars like this because there's absolutely no excuses for them. Sitting on a rotisserie style restoration, very high end. All the hardware has been CAD plated and it's well optioned. We'll go around and we'll kind of tell you about all the options on it. We'll actually have all the paint colors and everything at Spud's Garage, where we'll actually decode the data tag and so on and so forth. But it's a documented restoration, rotisserie restoration. And if you hang on throughout this video and you're looking for one of these cars, this is a really special car. 272 4-barrel V8 Ford-O-Matic, factory power steering, factory power brakes, factory air conditioning. Inside there's even more options. We'll step back and let you take a look at it here. All the bright work's done exceptionally well. The fit of the panels is very nice. It's got about 1,100 miles on the restoration. Don't know if I already said that. So you might find a little minor spot here or there. No car is perfect or brand new. You'll hear me say that from time to time. It is a Crown Vic with the non-glass roof. There's a little tiny here where these headlight buckets are, just a little tiny chip that's been touched up. But I'm telling you, this is a really nice car. The trim and stainless is just beautiful on it. Give you a little peek at the dash here. The clear view where the light actually comes into the back side of the dash here. It gives you a view of the speedometer. It's really neat. There's the roof right there, the roof trim. Just a really pretty car. You know, doing my job, I get to do a lot of cars, power windows, and it's always nice to do original style cars like this because they're just a lot of fun to do. Factory skirts, factory wire caps. It does have a spare in the trunk. We'll cover that with you. G7815 tires, white walls. The bright work and plating is beautiful. But what's even better is the hardware. When they restored it, they did everything right. It looks like all correct nuts and bolts and CAD plated hardware. I know I'm going to say that a few times throughout the video, but there's a lot of restorations that are done. They look pretty from the outside, but you start looking inside, they really don't. You can't see the quality all the way through, and I'll tell you what, you can see the palm trees of the quarter panel of this car. It's just beautiful. Again, 1,100 miles on it. There's a file in the trunk that we'll cover here, and actually when I get back here, we'll take some photographs of what's in there. We'll include it at spudsgarage.com, so make sure you go to Spud's Garage. If you're interested in a car like this or any car we have, give us a call. Absolutely no pressure. No monkey business. We match buyers and sellers safely. So I'm going to open up the door here and kind of get you in the passenger side just a little bit. You can see the CAD plated hardware and the door jambs and so on and so forth. Give you a look at the dash here from this side. You can see the AC vents up on the top there. It does have a working factory radio. The glove box is correct for an AC car. There's not room. You lose a lot of room. Kleenex dispenser. Even has a power seat. So power windows, power seat. We'll actually flip the key and turn that on and show you. All the latches here. Has the flip down armrest in the back. The headliner on the inside is much like the outside of the car. They have this stainless or chrome bar that goes across the front. Kind of leaving me speechless there for a minute. We put the windows down, they work just fine. You can see the Crown Victoria trim here. Well, like I said, when we get back, we're going to decode it. And kind of tell you the paint colors on it, so on and so forth. We do believe the car was recolored factory colors that the customer liked and wanted. I think it was originally a white and a red, but this blue is just beautiful. One of them is called Waterfall. Anyway, we'll have the exact colors for you at Spud's Garage. Waterfall blue and some other kind of blue. I had looked it up as I came down here and looked at the data tag. Give you a good standoff view here of the side of the car on the shade side. Pardon me, a little sniffly. It's 60 degrees here. I'm cold. Anyway, the roof line and all the trim here is just beautiful. We're going to cover the trunk in just a minute, but you'll see even the little chrome buttons in the back window. The little speaker vent is or that's probably rear defrost, as I'm going to bet what that is. Wow, Brightwork's beautiful. Ford-O-Matic emblem on the trunk. Ford accessory exhaust tips on it for dual exhaust. Again, 55 Ford Fairlane Crown Victoria. Just beautiful in its presentation. Even the little spring here on the trunk thing works like it's supposed to. Hasn't had a lot of miles since the restoration. Again, I think I already told you about 1,100 miles on it. Wow. It's a lighted antenna here on the back for the radio. I believe this is lighted. I don't know. Maybe it's just Art Deco thing. Couldn't tell you. We're going to open up the door here and we're going to let you in here and share with you the inside of the car. But even down into here, if you look down into the door jambs, you'll see that the blue carries all the way through. So this is a really high level restoration. The glass is nice on the car. Come to the door jamb here. Same thing as the passenger side. Factory style sill plates. All the hardware like we talked about throughout. Power window switches are right here. Here's the data tag here. It's an M5RW. We'll get back, but I know the M means a 272 4-barrel V8. Body's a 64A. Its birthday looks like it's June 20th, I think. Trim L. But we know that those colors, the car's been recolored factory colors, different than it was built originally. And there's no harm in that, as long as it's done factory style wise. Again, flip down rear armrest in the back. Factory style loop carpet. Power seat. Actually, we're going to turn the key on here very shortly and show you the power seat works like it's supposed to, moving forward, moving backwards. So power seat, power windows, power brakes, air conditioning, power steering. Underneath the dash, the same level, we actually took some flash shots for you that we'll have at spudsgarage.com. Kleenex dispenser. Dome light working. We'll get down in here and kind of give you a feel. Very nice in the glove box. All the latches and everything work correct. In fact, the dome light in the glove box is working. This is right. You don't have much of a glove box with factory AC. Glove box shuts beautifully. Factory radio does work. There's the Ford Select air conditioning controls right there. Map light switch, rear speaker switch, tissue dispenser. This is where the air comes out for the air conditioning. Just beautiful. Anyway, we're going to have plenty more. Hang on to the end of the video. We'll actually have undercarriage video. I'll show you the headliner here. It's a cloth, got kind of a pattern to it. Visors. We're going to cover the trunk, and we're actually going to cover the engine on the undercarriage on the lift and on the ground here. This is the parking brake light to remind you that it's on. That does work. We'll do it just for fun here. That reminds you that the emergency brake is on. Go ahead and turn that off. I noticed the dash lights came on at the same time, the generator and oil light. Ashtray is beautiful. Nice day in the park. Everybody's out for a good walk. Anyway, this is the time where we ask you to get in, but we definitely want you to hang on to the end of the video where we're going to cover a lot more. Go to spudsgarage.com. You're on Spuds Garage YouTube. Let's take a look underneath the hood. Man, oh man. Hits just keep coming with this car. When you look at the detail You're just after the walk around here, and we talked about the detail of the car, but this is where you're really going to kind of see it when you start looking inside it and at the important stuff, which is under the hood. Anyway, you'll see we'll cover a lot of the engine here and the options on it, but all the hardware on this car, we'll cover it in the trunk when we're there too. All the hardware has been CAD plated. There's nothing Mickey Mouse. All the nuts and bolts look correct. Here's components, the condenser for the air conditioning. The options on the car, it's a 272 V8, 4-barrel V8, so they were about 182 horsepower, 20 horsepower more than the 2-barrel version. This is a 4-barrel version based on the data tag we see there. However, there's a letter in the file the owner told me that had restored this car that says something about it being an original 292 car. There's a one odd code on the VIN, but we'll take a really good look at that, and you're going to find more about that at spudsgarage.com. It does have factory loaded with options like we talked about. There's the air conditioning compressor over here. Factory air conditioning. Look at all the heavy belts they put on it. Factory power steering, factory power brakes. Here's the power brake booster right here. It doesn't look like it because there's not one on the firewall that you'd be used to typically seeing. Again, all the CAD plated hardware. Ford Y-block V8. Ford insignia on the voltage regulator there. Even the little hardware down here where it mounts the radiator fan shroud and the horns and stuff. The wiring harness here, they use factory OEM style reproduction stuff, which is available. Wait till you see the undercarriage video on this car. It's just incredible. If you hang on to the end of the video, we're definitely going to cover that. Battery right there. Anyway, we're thinking you get a good feel about this. We're going to cover a lot more about the car with undercarriage, so on and so forth here up shortly in the trunk. Anyway, thanks for coming to Spud's Garage. We'll show you the bottom side of the hood here. Go to spudsgarage.com. Let's look at the trunk. Very nice, just like the rest of the car. This is an extremely nice car with a high-end restoration. Finish on the rear aprons here is just like the rest of the car. It's very nice. There's full documentation in the car here. 55 Crown Vic, pictures of the restoration. There's some documentation in here. Some original style brochures. Same thing here. Anyway, that's included with the car. It does have a original spare with hubcap. Matches the rest of the tires. It does have a jack right there, original jack. And again, they CAD plated every nut and bolt on this, so it was done at a high level restoration. You'll see the CAD plating. The springs were actually refinished on the trunk springs. Pull this up, you'll see the floor. There's a little bit of trim glue there to glue the carpet down, just tack. All the quarters are nice, and again, the same level of hardware. Anyway, there's a trunk portion, but definitely make sure you hang on to the end of the video, and make sure you go to Spud's. We're going to show you a little short clip. I'm going to go around it pretty fast to the undercarriage while it's sitting on the road here, but hang on, we'll definitely cover the undercarriage up on the lift. We like to give you a road feel and get an idea undercarriage-wise, but an amazing body-off restoration, rotisserie style restoration, factory original components, or style restoration. The paint finish on the bottom of the car is just as nice as the top of the car. You'll see all the CAD plating we spoke about in previous portions of the video. Car has 1,100 miles on it since the restoration. You can see up into the panels here, all the hardware. Again, I'm going to zip you through this. Factory skirts here. You actually get a chance to look at the rockers on the car right here. You can see the factory pinch weld, so on and so forth. Factory style exhaust, dual exhaust. Cars like this are really hard to come by. These high level restorations can cost you a fortune. So best thing to do is buy one of these cars done, and it's done nicely and it's done right. Absolutely no excuses. We appreciate you coming to Spud's Garage, but again, hang on for more because we're going to have more video here for you. Nice car. I always like to document them well. They speak for themselves, however I talk. Anyway, we're thinking you get the idea. There you go. Hang on just a second. You're at the end of the video here, but we definitely are going to cover. We followed him home here and take a look at it on the lift and show you what we were talking about. Again, all the hardware, you hear me say that 50 times here during this video, but if you look at this, you'll see that even the spring shackles are CAD plated. The bottom side of the car is a high gloss enamel just like the rest of the car. Inner quarter panels here. You can still see the pinch welds on the rear. Pardon the lift there. Anyway, giving you the same view of the rear differential here. All the brake lines have been run and all the fuel lines have been run in the frame through factory hardware. Looks like they've put a stainless exhaust on it, stainless steel exhaust, which is nice. You know, it'll never rust. All the brake lines are all brand new. The emergency brake lines, the wheels are painted the color they're supposed to be painted. Going a little slow. This is going to be a long video, but we really want to cover this car good because it is such a nice car. We cover all cars equally. If we can get a lift, we get it, we do it. There's the Ford-O-Matic transmission right there. Bottom, look at all the tie rod end connectors here are nice. Again, all CAD plated shock mounts, strut rod bars. Power steering right there. There's the factory power steering ram. Those are pretty hard to come by. A lot of guys want to convert these cars to power steering because they're so heavy in the front and the components are just impossible to get. I'll give you a feel here. All the backing plates, cotter pins, so on and so forth. Pardon the lift again. We'll give it to you a view from the other side. We'll walk back and definitely you need to go to spudsgarage.com where we're definitely going to have more decode of the situation and paperwork from this car, so on and so forth. Very nicely done. Every car is going to have a little bit of oil seepage, no matter what car it is. After a drive, we don't see anything heavy on this car at all. They sit, they don't get driven enough, so on and so forth. You can see the crispness of the paint. Crispness, how's that for a word? Or how's it to say? Anyway, we'll go out here. We'll show you the rockers from the back side here, the frame rails from the back side. You can see all along the rockers here, the drains are where they're supposed to be. Fuel lines are run up and over the frame into the outside of the frame. We'll go over the other side and give you the same peek. Anyway, you're at the end of the video. You definitely want to go to spudsgarage.com. You're on Spuds Garage YouTube. Great place to be.